now that this topic is very intriguing. It's not about a particular product or a particular course or a particular service that we provide. We'll be talking about training and e-learning in general. So without much ado, let's get started. And we'll be starting off with a question. It's a very basic question that we encounter every day when we are dealing with corporate training. Is e-learning an event or a process? Deepa, can you go ahead and administer this poll?
Sure, Payal. I've just launched the poll.
This is a very basic question, but it is equally important. I just want to know what you think about learning, whether it's an event or a process.
Okay, and we have the results. Let me quickly share the results with you. So we have about 94% of them saying that it's a process and 6% saying it's an event.
Thank you, Deepa. And it's not surprising to me that we all are quite aware of what learning is. It is indeed a process. And I think it's very important to remember that it's a process while we are planning for it, while we are planning for the design and the development of learning strategies, mainly because of two reasons. First, we live in a world where the information and the technology is changing every day. So learning becomes a continuous, ever evolving process. Right from the beginning, when a learner is introduced for the first time about a topic, when he's made aware of it, to the point where the learning is getting reinforced. Second reason why learning is a process, why it is important to remember learning is a process, is because we humans have a tendency to forget new information if it is not repeated enough times at regular intervals. So if you want your learners to be updated about the newest and the latest technology and have the latest skill set, if you want them to perform their best, it's very important that you treat learning as a continuous process and give them the opportunity to relearn and reinforce the training that they have already got. Training is a very important aspect of corporate life. We all understand that very well. It helps us achieve business goals. Training in essence is all about learners and how we plan to upskill them, how we want to give them newest and latest information. Learners will be able to sell more. They'll be more productive through training. They will be able to improve their efficiency through training. They will be able to stay compliant to the industry regulations and law, and thereby help you achieve the business goals that you have set for your organizations. So now that we have gotten an overview of what training is and why it's important, I would like to ask you another question. What percentage of your training needs are currently addressed by e-learning? And by e-learning, I mean all kinds of digital learning assets, from micro learning to mobile learning, everything falls into it. And Deepa, can you go ahead and administer this poll?
Sure, Payal, I've done that.
Yes. So what percentage of your training needs are currently addressed by digital learning formats?
Okay, let's give everyone a couple of seconds here.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to close the poll now. Let me share the results. Okay, it's nice that no one says that it's between 0 to 5. 26% saying it's between 5 to 25. 52% saying about 25. And 22% saying I'm not sure.
Thank you, Deepa. And it is not really surprising looking at the statistics and this response. We all agree that e-learning and online training has grown tremendously over the past decade. As you can see on your screen, this is a statistics by the training industry. It's the 2019 report where we can observe that more than 50% of training needs of small, mid-size, and large organizations are now being addressed through online training. And even more importantly, if we consider this year's progress, it's even more, the contribution of online training is even more. Because of the lockdown, because of the social distancing, we find that L&D in the beginning was one of the most hit areas in corporate sphere. Yet we were able to overcome all training disruptions because of e-learning and digital learning formats. And the results are quite clear. The latest LinkedIn report says that 57% of organizations are spending more on online training, and they're spending considerably less in ILT and classroom training. This progress of adopting e-learning into the training strategy has changed perception of the industry and uh, everyone involved in corporate learning and development. So this let's take a moment to think about e-learning once again. Do we still consider it as a standalone initiative in your organization? Do you think it's you can use it as a blended solution alongside classroom training? Can you separate those two, or can you blend in both and give a blended learning solution for your learners? E-learning can very well fit into any kind of training strategy you adopt. uh, One of the most popular way of adopting e-learning, especially by organizations who are starting with e-learning for the first time, is going through a blended learning approach. With blended learning, you get to combine classroom ILT alongside online training, alongside other virtual formats like virtual classrooms or performance support. It gives you a blended solution. It gives you best of all worlds, and it also gives you a custom made, tailor made solution for your own training needs. Whatever you want to get, whatever training needs you have, you can tailor your strategy based on it and present a blended learning solution. Another way that e-learning can be introduced into your training strategy is through curriculums. We always encourage planning for a curriculum instead of an e-learning standalone course. And it is both because of the planning and design aspect of it, also because it's beneficial for your learner's journey as well. When you are planning for a curriculum, you will be going through the whole process of planning, design, setting up the content, setting up the tone of the content, the designing the GUI, setting up your branding. Everything can be done in the from the get-go, and a uniformity can be maintained throughout the courses that you have. Uh, Unlike in standalone courses, you will have to do this process over and over again. This can become quite time consuming, especially for your subject matter experts who are always busy. If you give them an e-learning curriculum, they can get the review feedback in one go instead of standalone courses where they have to go through the whole process again and again. Planning for an e-learning curriculum is also very beneficial for your learners, because with standalone courses, your learners will get to go through one e-learning course and then wait for probably few weeks or a month to get to another, by which time they have already forgotten the previous information. Giving them a curriculum will maintain a flow of learning and will make the learning journey more impactful. Whether you are going for an e-learning curriculum or whether you are going for a blended learning approach, e-learning is always going to give you an advantage, because you can include all sorts of digital assets into it. You can use animations, you can use interactive resources, you can use videos, simulations. Based on your training needs, you can introduce all sorts of digital assets. You can combine them. You can combine them in a blended approach. You can use them in your curriculums to get better ROI.